Okay, so now getting back to how do we use our calculator to make our work easier for statistics. So the first thing we have to do is turn our calculator on. Not so tricky because we have an on button right on there. Everything we're going to do in this particular chapter is going to be revolving around statistics, and so we're going to use this button down here that says Stat. So to get started, we're just going to hit the Stat button, and we want to edit our list by putting a list of numbers in our statistics mode. And we have a little glare up there, so let me see if I can move the calculator. There we go.
That looks fabulous, Mrs. Rumsey.
Thanks. So we're going to edit our list of numbers. To do that, we're just going to go number 1 here. And I already have some stuff in that list, if you can see that. So I want to get rid of the stuff in that list. And to do that, I am going to go ahead and arrow up so that my cursor is over the L1. Once my cursor is over the L1, I'm going to hit the clear button. And make sure you hit clear and not delete, because delete will actually take all of the information out and take the list out together. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to hit clear and then the down arrow. And that will clear all the information out of your list 1. Once your list 1 is clear, we're able to go to those data set that Ms. Boyer was giving us earlier for random heart rates. So if you could flip back to the board for just a second so we can review those data. There they are on the board from the first section. What I'm going to do on the calculator then is I'm going to put each individual piece of data in. So my first number was a 16. I'm just going to hit 16 and then the enter button, and I have my first piece of data in. And it's going to tell me in list 1, I'm already to my second piece of data. Awesome. So my second number was a 16. And I'm putting them in from the list where Ms. Boyer had already put them in order to find the median, but we don't have to do that. They don't have to be in order. Our calculator doesn't care at all. So we're going to go ahead through here and continue to put in our data set. And then when I get to my last number, I can check to make sure I have the right number of pieces in here. I'm on the 9th number. And that last number on my list is 32. And if I check and I count up my list off the board, I had 9 numbers, so I'm all set. If I got to the next one, it would tell me my 10th number, and there'd be nothing here because I don't have anything left to add. Next, we're going to go back to that Stat button because we've edited and we entered all of our data. We're going to hit Stat. We're going to arrow over to Calculate, and we're going to be calculating one variable statistics. If we had things in more than one list, we'd be calculating 2 variable statistics. But since we only have things in the first list, or whatever list you put them in, we're only going to calculate 1 variable statistics. So I'm going to hit enter here. And now it says, okay, you want to calculate 1 variable statistics from which list? So I could go back and double check for myself. When I edited, I was in list 1. So that's the list my stuff is in now. So I'm going to stat, calculate my 1 variable statistics, and I have 2 sets of them now. So
and you hit enter?
And I hit enter, yep. So 1 variable statistics, and they were in list 1. To get list 1, I'm going to push the second key, and then the 1 to get this little orange, or yellow I guess, L1. So we're going to say second 1.
So if you put them in list 2, you'd hit second 2?
Absolutely. So just check and make sure your list is the same. So we have 1 variable statistics from list 1. And we hit enter. And amazingly then, we can see, we'll try to get out of the glare again there for you, all of the information we could ever want to know about that list of numbers. The first thing that they're telling us is that X bar. Remember, X bar was the same as the mean or the average. So our X bar, or our average for this set of data, is 25.7777778. Or we could even round that up to 2 digits and say it was 25.78. It then tells us what the sum of our data is, that kind of sideways E. This is the Greek letter sigma that represents for us to add or to sum. So if we were to add all those numbers together, then we would have had 232. It gives us some other information. It tells us if we would have squared all those numbers and added them. It gives us some standard deviation information. And then we get down here and it tells us n is 9. So there are 9 numbers in our set of data. It gives us the minimum value of our data, which was 16. It gives us our Q1, which we're going to work with here later in the week. So that will be good information to have. It gives us our median, which was that middle number we were looking for, and we lined them all up. So we didn't even have to line them up. In this case, it would tell us what it was. it gives us our Q3, and finally it gives us our maximum number. Those 5 pieces of data, the minimum, the Q1, the median, the Q3, and the max, are what make up what we call the 5-number summary. And we can use those pieces of information to make box plots and to tell lots of good stuff about our data, in addition to the mean that we had at the beginning. The only number that you can see that we can't get from our calculator is the mode. And the mode's probably the easiest one because we can just look at our data set. So we can swing over here. When we look at our data set, we can see which number occurs the most often, even when it's not in order. It might just take us another second to find that information.
And we can remember mode because mode has M-O. And if you come back over here to your notes, M-O for most often. So that is how you can remember mode to most. Or that I love apple pie a la mode, lots of ice cream, most ice cream a la mode.